Hello everyone, I am really excited for today's readings. These are all about who secretly admires you and why. So not much of an intro needed for this one. There are 5 piles to choose from today. Always use your intuition. Don't second guess it. And whenever you're feeling ready, we're going to jump right into who secretly admires you and why. What's up, pile number 1? Here is your reading for who secretly admires you and why. So the individual or individuals that secretly admire you would be people that you work with. So people, whether you're working in like a traditional work environment where you have other employees present and you have other coworkers, or this could also mean, if you offer some sort of service where people are paying for your gifts and paying for essentially your energy and your time. There's like a fair and equal exchange of abundance happening between you and whoever it is that is coming through, whoever it is that is secretly admiring you. And overall, what I'm hearing, pile number 1, the reason why they admire you is you're really able to, it's like depending on what you're doing. I feel like it has something to do with speaking or the throat chakra, because you did choose this Amazonite crystal, which really resonates with that. But you speak from the heart. I was just guided to the fact that this guy, his hand is across his chest, like you're extremely truthful. Yeah, I'm drawn to these 3 words on the back of Amazonite: objectivity, filter, truth. It's like people can really trust you within business dealings, and I feel like because of that, you are well compensated, or people just assume that you are overflowing in abundance because your energy just gives so much. And so whatever you're doing, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a lot of success, if you're experiencing a lot of success with this World card. This is kind of saying that this person or these people see you as being able to rule the world, or in that sense, what I mean by that is they just think that you can attain anything. They feel like this type of person, this pile number 1, group number 1, they can get anything, with the purity of your heart is what they admire so much about you, and your ability to be unwavering to what feels truthful to you and what feels right for you, right? There is this element of objectivity that Amazonite does touch on and does talk about. However, it doesn't mean that we're not going to have preferences within this lifetime. And I feel like there's kind of a detached sense that you exude from people. It's like, even though you have certain beliefs, you don't look at other people different if their beliefs contradict your own. And so there's a lot of respect that you've garnished from all different types of people of different cultural backgrounds, of different religions, just people with different belief systems in general, even if their beliefs, if their paradigm is exclusive of your own. So when I speak in terms of paradigms, when you have someone that's existing at within a wider bandwidth of awareness, they've just invited more of the true nature of reality. They've just done more clearing of the veils of illusion. So they're seeing things closer and closer to the eyes of God, right? But if you have someone who has a paradigm that's here, they're going to be much more inclusive of someone who has a paradigm that's right here. But someone who has a paradigm, they haven't done the same levels of expansion. Naturally, their vision or their experience, or I just saw 333 on the clock, or what they have to say to you is it's gonna feel much more restricted. It's gonna feel more narrow focused, right? And so I'm hearing, no matter what, it's like you've done a lot of clearing. I'm really getting old soul vibes from this pile. It's like you are very inclusive naturally because you've done a lot of expansion. You've done a lot of unearthing of your soul. You've done a lot of removal of the veils. So this could be, I am getting to, if you guys have some sort of platform, or if you're within an environment where a lot of people know who you are, there's quite a lot of people that do admire you. You seem to be very wise despite even how you might feel. You seem to be able to make the right decisions, right? Decisions that sometimes might feel a little risky from the outside looking in, but because it's in alignment with what feels right for you, you do it, and people are just in awe of how things just consistently work out for you and work out in your favor. And they're like, wow, how does pile 1 do this? And one of your biggest gifts is this objectivity that comes through with this Amazonite, right? Yeah, it says here, allowing you to be unbiased in your decision making. So, you know, it's like you're doing things not because it makes you look good or not because it makes you not look good, but you're doing things because it just feels like the most right thing to do in that moment. And I feel like people, that's communicated through your aura, it's communicated through your essence. And so people really feel like you are trustworthy, like they feel trustworthy to invest in you, or they feel good about where their money is going when they're working with someone like you, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, ultimately they really think the world of you, and they these people have placed you as someone that they would like to, I don't want to say imitate, but you remind other people the amount of conviction that comes from just honoring your truth and the amount of confidence that comes with that. So people do, in some senses, you give other people more permission to do the same within themselves, to honor their truth, no matter how different that might look from the people around them, no matter how different that might look from you, who's inspiring it, right? You give this invitation for people to just show up in a way that is most reflective of their true nature, which is going to be impacted by, you know, what other planets they visited, right? And had incarnations on. That's going to be affected by the way the planets were when we took our first breath. It's going to be affected by their name. It's going to be affected by all of these different things that create up the soul's blueprint. And so it's like just not becoming dogmatic and assuming everyone who is in line with truth is going to look and behave and talk and think the same, right? That's not how nature works. There's diversity in nature. And so you allow people, it's like you're a breath of fresh air when people come around you, because you allow people to feel safe and to feel confident and convicted in what it is that they're here to bring to the planet, what gifts they have to share, and to revel in their own uniqueness as an extension and as an expression and as a fractal of source itself. So I hope this brought some peace to your heart, some contentment, whatever, confirmation. If you appreciated this reading, please give my video a thumbs up. Leave any comments down below with synchronicities or anything. And I hope I see you guys soon. What's up, pile number 2? If you guys chose the Golden Healer crystal, this is your reading for who secretly admires you and why. So right away when I saw this Shield Maiden card, I thought of like a sibling or a sister, someone that may or may not have tattoos. Gender honestly doesn't matter, because I know there's quite a few people tuning into this, but overall I am getting this sense that this person would be younger than you or just roughly around the same age as you. This would be someone who seems very driven in life. It seems like they're very focused. It seems like they're someone that has big dreams. Oh my God. This would be someone who just has a really big vision for life, and you constantly see, oh my God. Okay, this would be someone that you constantly see making moves and expanding. It's like they are expanding at a very similar pace that you are. I am hearing that this is someone that could feel like family, or feel like a sister, or feel like a sibling in some way. They feel like soul family, like you guys are here on a very similar mission. And this is someone that I feel like you are aware of. It's someone that you know, right? And so they might even be a Leo, or maybe you're a Leo and your son, a Leo sun, or you have significant Leo placements. And this could be Vedic astrology. This could be tropical astrology. But, you know, the reason why this person admires you so much, pile number 2, is because they see a lot of themselves in you, right? With the Strength card coming up. And again, we have Strength, and then Golden Healer literally talks about Leo and the sun. So this is kind of like a lot of overall Leo energy. But what I can just interpret that to mean is that this person admires your tenacity. This person admires the fact that you don't give up. I feel like this person has probably seen you go through a lot of ups and downs. They have seen your struggles. They have felt your struggles. Maybe you even, this is why I'm kind of feeling like this person knows you on like a close level, because it doesn't feel just like on a surface level of, wow, this person has gone through so much. Like they know it, right? Whereas most people might just look at you or be around you and kind of have that sense that, you know, there are many layers to you that have probably been born from darkness that you've experienced. It's like this would be someone that really has seen your struggles, right? This is someone that has really seen your phoenix rising over and over and over again, right? Those moments of expansion. You know, this talks about, does this talk about past lives? It talks about abundance, expansion, and golden rays. I mean, both of you are on a very rapid, you're on a very accelerated timeline. And I feel like that person doesn't necessarily, this person that secretly admires you, I'm sure they've maybe voiced it, but I don't think they've voiced just the extent of how much they admire you and how much you actually inspire them to keep going. It seems like there might be this feedback loop where they are constantly reminding you to shoot bigger, to stay on your game, to, exercise, to continue to feed into and to pour into your passion projects and your greatest dreams, and to not think that your greatest dreams aren't possible just because everyone around you has cast aside their greatest dreams in lieu of this fictional idea that we have to trade our entire lives and it has to be a struggle, right? Life's a bitch, then you die type of thing. And so this is someone that, they admire you because they see so much of themselves in you. And so they think that you are extremely intelligent. They feel that you are just such a healing presence to be around when they're around you. They feel so seen, and they feel so abundant in basking in the light of you, right? And this person really admires your confidence and really admires how you have taken these challenges and how they've only ever made you better, right? Again, they see so much of their own selves in you. Yeah, we have transforming your vibration all the way down to the cells in your body. This talks about the solar plexus. So this is like a deep, type of transformation that they've witnessed happen in you. It's like this person admires so much that what you could have been consumed by, the darkness that you could have been consumed by, actually is what has made you who you are today. And your ability to tame it, and I'm hearing your ability to, Golden Healer is about, shifting paradigms and doing deep cellular healing of untruth, because what happens on the level of the mind, the distorted mind, creates a lot of dis-ease and a lot of disease in the body, right? Psychologically, it creates disease. Physically, it creates disease. And so this person, just whatever you say or whatever you speak or whatever you express, it seems to be holistically healing. Like, I don't know if you guys write or if you're like speakers or authors or what it is that you're doing, or maybe it's just when you're in a conversation with someone, you're able to put things into perspective because, you've had no choice in your life, right? That's a lot of the time why we're drawn to spirituality, is because there's an element of dissatisfaction that exists within our day-to-day lives, and or we are trying to put into context the immense amount of suffering that we experienced in early adolescence and childhood, right? And so it's like you aren't just speaking from a place of it being conceptual and a regurgitation of the knowledge in the books that you've accumulated and read, etc., articles, research, YouTube videos. It's like this is your own wellspring of truth. This is your own wellspring of healing, because we can only offer true healing to other people when that healing has already occurred within ourselves. And I'm hearing that you're able to let people be okay. Like, people shine brighter because they become more accepting of their shadow and more accepting of their story and whatever unique quirks that they have within this lifetime. So this person, you help put into context, right? The spiritual journey is putting into context our expression and our personality and our quirks and our fuck ups and whatever. The vehicle of spirituality puts things into context, so we're not overly identified with those things. And whatever you emanate and whatever you exude, that's what people pick up from you. Down to a level, like, you probably talk about the relevance of understanding trauma, ancestral karma and trauma I'm seeing here. It's like you help people expand their awareness and expand their understanding of the universe, very philosophical by nature. You help bring their viewpoint so their experiences make sense, not to the point where they're attaching to them or overly identifying with them, but to a point where they can be accepting of it, right? Because I'm seeing a lot of self-worth in this pile, and this person in particular that's coming through really admires your self-worth and your charisma and your courage, and the fact that, you're never down for long, right? And it seems like as the years go by, that time between falling down or experiencing a lull in life or a rut in life. The time between, the rut, the lull, the falling down, and the getting back up is becoming smaller and smaller. So I'm going to leave this reading here for now. Who secretly admires you and why? And please give this video a thumbs up, comment any synchronicities down below, and I hope I see you soon. What's up, pile number 3? If you guys chose this rose quartz crystal, this is your reading for who secretly admires you and why. So the who that's coming through for you, pile number 3, these might be people that you had mentored in some way. These might be people that you have given advice to or some sort of counsel to. These could be people that you've grown up with. These could even be people that you have that have known you for quite some time, and this is an individual or a group of people is also very much so possible here, that in some way you have extended your wisdom to or extended advice to, because we do have this see your seeds grow. And so what I'm interpreting this to mean are, seeds in this sense, the seeds that you have planted in other people, right? Seeds of truth. Planting the seeds of truth that we attempt to plant, like when we're giving someone advice or when we're mentoring or when we're working with clients, when we're a life coach, whatever you might be doing, just a good ass friend, right? It's like when we're attempting to soothe someone's soul, we are attempting to essentially help them expand their perception, expand their levels of awareness in order to see things closer to the eyes of God. Right, which the sages and the mystics and the yogis have told us oftentimes over and over again that, to see through the eyes of God, you are not caught in the riding the wave of polarity, right? So on one of the end of the spectrum, you're not caught up in negativity and you're not caught up by positivity. It's meeting the good things in life with the same sense of equanimity as the negative things in life. Right. And so when we're attempting to give someone advice or when we're attempting to make someone feel better from the level of the soul, that's essentially the seeds that we're planting are seeds of truth. Right. And so the people that are secretly admiring you right now are those individuals that you have planted those seeds within, those seeds of truth within. This could even be children. I'm hearing that some of you guys as parents are very conscientious of your kids understanding things like meditation and understanding things like the power of the mind. And I'm feeling this overwhelming, which I'm not surprised, I'm feeling this overwhelming sense or a sensation in my chest, my heart chakra. It's like there is a wellspring of love that your children feel for you, and that whatever soul contract that you have with your child, they're so grateful to have been born into a family where the spiritual understanding is understood and it is practiced. And that's one of the reasons why you guys have this specific contract. In the Bhagavad Gita, it actually says, there's no judgment here, but it can definitely feel a little bit like, ooh. The Bhagavad Gita talks about how, beings that have not done a lot of soul clearing, or they haven't learned their lessons or leaned into their challenges and transmuted their karma in other lifetimes, right? If they've done more gathering of karma in a specific lifetime, it's like the ignorant are born into the wombs of the ignorant, is what the Bhagavad Gita says. So in that sense, I'm hearing and I'm being reminded of what a blessing your children feel, for the select few of those that have children here, how grateful your children feel to be born into a family that is so deeply understanding of the true nature of reality, because they're going to be like a leg up from where I'm hearing most of you guys have been in terms of having to learn all of this stuff by yourself and to essentially teach all of yourself these types of principles. And so that's part of the reason why these people admire you. But I'm just hearing overall is that you are a person that, you make decisions very soundly, and you're someone that is very fast moving. I'm hearing that you capture a lot of hearts. You capture a lot of attention because of what you emanate and the purity of your heart that you seem to emanate, the unconditional love. You're unbiased towards the good and the bad in life. I'm hearing that people feel very safe in your presence, And they feel like when they're around you that they receive a huge amount of, it's like you bring so much clarity into the lives of other people that they get to this space where they can feel deep self-acceptance, right? The heart chakra and rose quartz in general talks about having unconditional love, not just for others, but also for ourselves, which is, you know, arguably more challenging than having unconditional love for other people, because we know our innermost realms, right? We know the way we think, we know our quirks, our tendencies, our habits, and our frustrations for ourselves, and not feeling like we have enough willpower to break out of certain karmic cycles that we know we would be so much better off if we just broke the fucking tie, right? So it's like, I feel like a combination of just whatever seeds you've planted and your deep and rich philosophical nature and metaphysical nature, it really helps people. Like, it puts things into perspective from the level of the mind, but it doesn't leave out the heart, is what I'm trying to say here, which is absolutely necessary if we are to make it out and to interact with other people from a level of compassion. We need to have that wisdom balanced with the heart. Otherwise we come across cold. Otherwise we come across uncaring. We come across critical and judgmental. But I'm hearing, no matter what people bring to you or what they have brought to you in the past, no matter the deepest secrets that people communicated to you, it's like you always met them from a neutral standpoint, right? That there's that feeling of transcendence, of not buying into the mind, not buying into the stories, not buying into duality, that people just felt so nourished. It's like, oh my God, the way that you handle, like, people are so scared, I'm hearing, or they have been so scared, because you might not talk to a lot of these people still, because I feel like you're someone that just, as the years go by, you're making a lot of connections. Not all of them last. And sometimes you're checking in on people here and there throughout the years. But regardless of that, people just really remember that when they have come to you with things that they might have been really fearful to divulge, that your reaction has been so soothing to their soul and their heart, because they're like, oh my God, what is pile number 3 going to think about this? And then they tell you, and you're just like, okay. And you're just like very conversational. Like, they just told you that tomorrow's going to be like cloudy for the day, right? So I feel like you just bring a lot of clarity and remind people that overall, like, with the seeds of truth that you've planted, and I'm certain it's become much more eloquent and studious as the years go on, but you've just really been in touch with your intuition, probably from as long as you can remember. And so regardless of your articulation and your ability to much more astutely communicate certain ideas, no matter where you've been, it's like you've always planted seeds of truth in the heart of other people, right? You've always just been planting truth, right? And you're definitely someone that, you know, people, when they think of you, they have a lot of respect for you. They really admire you, right? So I'm going to leave this reading here for now. Pile number 3, thanks for tuning in. Give this video a thumbs up if it resonated. Any synchronicities, leave that down below, and I hope I see you soon. What's up, pile number 4? If you guys chose this jade crystal, this is your reading for who secretly admires you and why. So first, what I'm hearing, this is a message just for a few of you guys, but first I'm hearing that there are some animals in your home, or that you are around a lot, that really appreciate you, that really admire you. But overall, what I'm getting for who admires you, this could be, I'm really getting the sense when I saw this card, I really got the sense of there might be some, like, your guides, like certain angels or archangels that you call upon and work with. And while I know they don't experience the type of human emotions that we do, so they admire you, it's less of an admiration that I'm feeling, and much more of just like, they just acknowledge your ability to choose your path wisely and to choose your path in wisdom. You know, our guides and our spirit guides, these are beings that they know our innermost workings, like our own self, right? There's no boundary in terms of telepathy when you are fully merged with spirit. So they understand what's going on, right? Just as much as you would. They understand your psyche just as much as you do. And so it's like these, your spirit guides are on this team. Animals for some of you, past loved ones that are no longer in earth form, they really admire you. And these might even be people too, you know, for some of you who have lost loved ones, they might have always been really surprised and admired just your spiritual wisdom, even from a young age. I am hearing that there are mostly advanced old souls tuning into this pile in particular. So, you know, for the high priestess showing up in the Y position, and then this says direction guardian, choose your path. I was like, oh my God, this is so clear. It's like they really admire your ability to stay in alignment with the messages you are receiving from spirit, even if it doesn't make sense to other people, right? What you do, you don't do because you need other people to understand you. And while maybe in your younger years that felt like it would tear you apart because you just want people to get you, you just want people to understand you. Now you're at a point, I'm hearing, where, you know, you just feel like you have grown into your shoes, essentially, or grown into yourself and grown into what you're here to do. It might even be whatever you're doing or whatever you're extending to other people might have, like, your expression and your ability to tune into spirit and your clear communication with the higher realms. I wouldn't be surprised if that manifests naturally as you're working in a field where that's what you're doing, right? Where you are connecting with spirit and you're bringing through messages of truth, or you're in some sort of healing practice where you're allowing yourself, your human form, your body, essentially your own vehicle, to be the vessel for source to work through you and your spirit guides to work through you. And so I'm just hearing overall these beings that secretly admire you. You know, this might even be people that just don't have the words to say, right? They don't have the words to say, but they might have even been people that have been praying for you over the years, is what I'm hearing. So whoever would pray for you, like I know, for example, I know my grandma, you know, she prays every night, and she's someone that might pray for me, right? But someone, yeah, I'm hearing too that it could just be people, or there's multiple planes here, right? So we have animals on the earth, we could have people still incarnate, we have your spirit guide. So it seems like you have the attention of the cosmos. Essentially, you have the attention of multi dimensions at this point. So, and I'm not surprised if you guys are, you know, the reason why they are, these people admire you, or these beings. I'm not surprised that your spirit guides would be part of this kind of channeling, because you are working directly with them on a day-to-day basis, right? When you go into meditation, or when you are reading tarot, whatever you're doing. But ultimately, this Jade card represents wisdom, right? We have wisdom as the first word, and then we have all this high priestess energy and this admiration of you being able to stay true to your path, no matter how misunderstood you may have been along the way, right? We have wisdom, abundance, good luck. It says Jade will stimulate messages and channel them into your dreams when placed in your third eye chakra, right? And so, you know, the high priestess talks about dream state. The high priestess talks about channeled messages and being able to decode deep symbology that you see in the external world, that you see on your tarot cards, that you just receive in dream state, right? Yeah, but I'm hearing overall, you know, this jade stone is associated with the planet Venus. I feel like you are kind of like the whole package in terms of abundance and prosperity and beauty, right? Venus is the planet of beauty and the planet of relationships and the planet of just it seems like everything is always working out for you, again, with this good luck being reiterated, right? And so I feel like it just feels like a celebration of, like, this person this person could have gotten lost in all the bullshit that's happening on earth, and somehow you sifted your way through the darkness, right? Somehow you sifted your way through all of the confusion and being around family and friends that didn't get it, who were, you know, just as asleep as you were. It's like, somehow, man, somehow you woke the fuck up, and here you are. And it's like, I feel like this is a pile that, you know, the best psychics out there have been through some trauma, have been through deepest amounts of trauma sometimes, because what activates our psychic senses oftentimes at this point on the planet, we can already come in knowing that a certain extent of them are already going to be quite active. And then when you're in traumatic, high stress environments, it's like you have to use your multisensory gifts in order to really see what's going on beneath the surface. You can really tune into someone's field. You can tune into their emotions, and it's like a self-protection mechanism that sometimes, when left unchecked, later down the road can lead to PTSD and really high anxiety, etc. So, like, you guys have gotten here. I'm just here and like started at the bottom, now you're here. And that really kind of shows your embrace of duality, right? Which is another thing that people, that these, you know, your guides and ancestors and people even still here that might not even have the words to say it to you, literally. It's like they admire just your graciousness, and it's like this person's really tuned in. They're like, you know, the high priestess represents an individual that is extremely tuned in with the metaphysical and the subtle and the mystic realms, right? And mystic in this sense just means the realms, the subtle realms, right? That's all that means. You know, it's nothing super esoteric or anything. It can be when you add complex words to it and you try to describe it, but it's something that is so intuitive. It's so natural to you, right? And so it's like this person, through all the bullshit this person put themselves through, and just like, you know, the things that were karmic in nature, so they were bound to happen. You know, it's like somehow, man, your third eye still, fluoride or not, it is wide open. So I hope this brought clarity, peace, something of value to your day today, pile number 4. And if it did, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps my channel grow. Leave any comments down below with synchronicities, or just say hey. It also helps my channel grow. But I also really, I do this because I love connecting with you guys, and just this, it's a beautiful dance that we share. So I hope I see you guys soon. Much love. What's up, pile number 5? Welcome to your reading for who secretly admires you and why. So for my pile number 5s, the individual or individuals that are coming through would be beings that are, they are showing up as people that are older than you, so older relatives, or beings that are, that have served as some sort of authority figure, regardless of their age, in your lifetime at some point. They could still be in your life, or like what I mean by that is a very active part of your day-to-day life, or this could just be someone from the past. This could also be a teacher, right, with this wise one, or a mentor. But I am getting overall that this is someone who has been through a lot of life, has already seen a lot of life, and gained some necessary wisdom. And then of course I am seeing this woman a bit older in age. So that's what what's coming through in terms of who is secretly admiring you at this time. And this is someone that has seen you go through a lot. This is someone that has kind of seen your life's path. And so that might also be why it's coming through as someone who is older than you, because they saw you growing up in childhood. They saw, you know, the things that were happening in your household, or the struggles that you dealt with, the self-confidence things that you can experience in adolescence. This is someone who has really kind of seen your entire life's journey, again, from an outside perspective, but they've really seen that you have been through a lot, right? One of the reasons why they admire you is because we have with this moon card, it's like you have been dealt a very winding path. And it's like there's distractions over here, and I wouldn't be surprised if you guys have taken very many different paths, or like tried to soothe yourself, or maybe not soothe yourself, but a lot of things didn't make sense to you guys with this moon card. A lot of things were very convoluted growing up. There might have been some difficulties within your family, within your friendships, or just within your own self, depending on the types of karmas that you are working with this time around. So it's like they've seen this very winding path that you've been on, and at times were fearful that you would get lost down. But I'm hearing that you have just really grounded into something authentic, man. Like you've really crystallized into something that is extremely bold and very stable, right? And truthful to you. We see here agate helps to reveal inner truths, cleansing beneath the surface to expose your authentic self. right? This helps heal resentment. It frees you from an imprisonment of inner anger, replacing it with safety and security. And it releases you from this person admires you, or these people, these older relatives, whatever, these old mentors that you've worked with, they really admire you because, you know, the moon is something that can talk about fantasies, right? And our deepest fears. The moon can talk about, you know, during nighttime, it's like there is illumination from the moon, but sometimes depending on the cycle or the phase that the moon is in, there's not a whole lot of light being reflected. And so this, to me, in a sense, this is someone who has seen you kind of like navigate your way through darkness and are extremely proud of you. Like they are like so blown away by your wisdom. They're so blown away by your levels of perception. They're so blown away by just how grounded you now are. This might be family that you don't see quite often, or friends that you don't see quite often, or mentors that you don't see quite often, or there's a sense of you being able to grow and needing to kind of go on your own path alone. You needing to make the journey alone. That's also what can make the moon card, or this energy, the archetype of the moon, kind of scary to people, is having to go it alone. But I mean, there's no other way to go it. You know, we're going to come into this world alone, and we're going to leave this world individually as well. So no matter how many people, how big your social circle is, it's like, you know, if you're within these realms, you really understand that everyone is working with their own intricacies, right? Everyone's working with their own specific tendencies and subtleties, I should say, their own complexities. It doesn't matter how much you guys might see eye to eye on certain levels and seem like you get along with someone to large extents. It's like there are so many subtleties and intricacies to a human experience. Like we are universes unto ourselves, right? That go on and on and on. And there's dimensions within dimensions and layers within layers. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like no one's going to ever fully understand you, you know, no matter how much you might want to be understood. But with this moon energy coming through in a very positive aspect, I'm hearing that, you know, part of this and part of why these people, this person really admires you is because you've relinquished that sense, I'm hearing, to need to prove yourself, right? You've relinquished that sense of defensiveness that we can get when people don't understand us, right? Agate here says, it's a stone that creates harmony in all areas of life and balances the mind, body, and spirit. So, you know, regardless of what might have been true for you 10 years ago, I'm just hearing you've really grown into yourself and you've really matured and you've become this extremely wise and balanced individual and person who has grown through their struggles, and not just gone through them, but you have grown through them. You have transformed through them. That's very evident to this person or these people, these relatives. That's very apparent, is that they're just in awe, man. They secretly admire you, but they're quite literally secretly in awe of you. You know, I'm also hearing this final message is you might be at a point where now you're just a little bit more expressive of some of the things that you did, or, you know, just how you thought, or just behaviors, past actions. You might be a little bit more expressive and open about, you know, some of the things that you had explored or some of the things that you had gone through. Whereas before there might have been a level of like secrecy or shame or needing to hide certain parts of you. But now it's just like, you're just like, no, I know this is part of my story. It was part of my path. It's part of my dharma. It's part of, you know, other people understanding and realizing that, yeah, sometimes we do shit we're not proud of, or we're versions of ourselves that we're not proud of. But at the end of the day, that's part of my story. That's part of what got me to the person that I am today. So I would never take it back, right? And so I feel like these people, or these older relatives, or these old mentors, like they hear some of the stuff as you become more emboldened and more confident to express all parts of yourself. It's like they are like sometimes surprised by what it is that you say in terms of the mindset that you were in, or, you know, whatever addictions you may have had going on behind closed doors or whatever. They're just like, oh my God, how did this person, like, they're just so in awe of just someone who is able to pull themselves out of such darkness, essentially, and be so bright. Like you are so bright. You are an individual that now through your stability, your grounding, your truth, that you illuminate. You can't help it. You are like the moon for other people unto their own darkness, into their own shadowlands, right? And it's interesting to notice that this moon here is smiling, right? So it knows at the end of the day, it's all good. And it takes a certain type of person. It takes a warrior to be able to go into the realms of the underworlds and not get caught in it, right? And to come back even better, a million times better than they were when they went down there. But we're all going to do it. You seem very masterful at what you've done. And it seems like in a way that was part of your soul contract with these other individuals, is like seeing the power of the human spirit and the power of someone that doesn't give up, and someone that essentially, while they had a lot of karma and a lot of things to work through, maybe in the beginning, insecurities, doubts, fears, whatever, ultimately to see someone that has worked with all of that and then be as beautiful, holistically powerful as you, it really says so much. And they are just some of them might not even ever have the words to say it, but just know that they are just in awe, very proud. And I see that part of that contract, you are a teacher. You were here to teach. I wouldn't be surprised, because we do have Mercury here. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys express, if you guys have a blog, if you guys are writing a book, if you guys have written books, if you're expressing, all of these transmissions of truth that you've learned along your journey, right? You have taught many people many things, and even people that are far, older in body than you, right? But your soul age is extremely fine-tuned, and it's been through a lot of, I'm just seeing a diamond, right? It's been through a lot of fine-tuning for sure. So I hope this brought some value to your day. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave any comments down below, any synchronicities. I really love connecting with you guys. I truly do. And it also really helps my channel expand too, which I also really appreciate. So thank you guys so much. I hope I see you soon.